Good morning, folks, and welcome to the information session on the Honors Bachelor of Behavior Analysis program at George Brown College. Great to have you here. My name is Andrew McNamara. I'm the coordinator of the program and a professor here at George Brown College. The agenda for this morning is what is applied behavior analysis. Going to do a bit of a program overview, talk about program basics a bit, admission requirements, what you need to do to be successful in the program, some idea of the coursework, then employment and further education opportunities, and then any contact information that I can provide you. Okay, so let's begin. So what is applied behavior analysis? So applied behavior analysis, yes, it is part of psychology, but it is very different from psychology. Behavior analysis is a scientific approach to treatment and understanding human behavior, and it applies to the entire range of human behavior, including thoughts, feelings, and actions. It's just not limited to the things that you see and hear people do. It's also deals with what we call private events. And research has demonstrated over the years that it is the most effective approach to decreasing problem behavior in developing skills in a multitude of populations. Some of the things that you're going to learn about in the program, again, it's a 4-year program, not again, but I'm just going to mention that now, is that you're going to learn about psychological theory, some of the basic underpinnings of psychological theory. You'll also learn about research, and you'll learn about some of the practices in psychology and applied behavior analysis. You're also going to learn to design and conduct various types of assessments, behavioral assessments, in a variety of different settings and populations. We, as behavior analysts, we work everywhere. There's no place that we can't work with people. You'll also learn to design and implement research-based programs in applied behavior analysis and evaluate their effectiveness. You're going to be taught how to use behavioral consulting skills. That's not counseling skills, but consulting skills, because we don't always work directly with the identified learner or patient, but we work with people who are helping that person out. Another program learning outcome is that we need you to act like a professional. So we're going to demonstrate appropriate social, professional, and clinical skills that occur in a variety of different interdisciplinary settings like psychiatric hospitals, schools, group homes, private homes, working with a variety of clients, professionals, and the community at large. There also is a branch of behavior analysis called organizational behavior management, so you'll be working in industry, restaurants, even possibly the tar sands. Then the important thing is that we need to have you maintain a high degree of professionalism and ethical standards. Other things, communicate orally and in written form the results of behavioral assessments and treatment programs. This is really important. You need to be able to communicate clearly the ideas that you'll need to share with folks around how to assess and treat problem behaviors and develop skills. And you also will need to understand how to critically evaluate and synthesize issues in society at a more general level. Okay, just a bit of a program overview. So George Brown College has been providing training in ABA, applied behavior analysis, since 2002. And George Brown was the second college in the country and the first college in the GTA to offer ABA training. And graduates of the Behavioral Science Technology program, which was a 3-year diploma program and is now a 2-year diploma program, these graduates are widely sought after for employment in a variety of sectors. One of the benefits of the degree program in applied behavior analysis is that you can become certified as a board certified assistant behavior analyst through the Behavior Analyst Certification Board. And this certification is an international certification and allows you to work anywhere in the world. And you can check out the BACB at www.bac.com, and there are some very interesting videos there that describe what ABA is and some of the other things that we do. So the certification process after getting the degree requires 1,300 hours of supervised field work. So you would be working with a BCBA or a BCBAD. So those are the next higher levels of certification. And they will be supervising you as you're doing your work. And then you have to pass the certification exam for BCABAs. Everybody gets out about an exam, but it's not that bad. Okay, so just an overview of some of the other programs that we have. We have quite a wide variety of programs at George Brown. We have a 2-year diploma, which is a behavioral science technician program. We have a 1-year behavioral science technician accelerated program, and that's for folks who already have a degree or diploma in certain areas, and they can go and they can transfer into the 1-year accelerated program. We also have a 1-year autism and behavioral science program, which is a postgraduate diploma or certificate, sorry. And again, there are degrees or diplomas will allow you entrance into those programs as well. And of course, we have the degree. Some other basic information. So we accept about 32 new students each year. So we're a small program, and it allows for people to get to know each other, for you to get to know the profs, and for us to get to know you. We do 1 intake per year each September. Students range in age from 17 to the late 30s. So yes, we do have mature students and folks fresh out of high school. And we accept both domestic and international students, so it makes it quite an interesting group of folks to work with. Some of the admission requirements, I'm going to just read this because I never memorized it. Pardon me for doing this. So it's an Ontario Secondary School Diploma with 6 grade 12 U or University College M courses with a combined average of 65% or greater. English grade 12 U with a 65% or higher. Grade 11 Math M or U or grade 12 Math University with a grade of 60% or higher. And biology grade 11 or grade 12, or chemistry grade 11 or grade 12, or physics grade 11 or grade 12, or environmental science grade 11 with a grade of 60% or higher. Yes, it is a science-based program that you're going into, folks, so we need you to have a background in the sciences. In terms of the mature students, they need to be 19 years of age or older, and they don't have any Ontario Secondary School Diploma. So you also need to have grade 12 University English with 65 or better, grade 11 U or M or grade 12 U Mathematics with a grade of 60% or higher. Also biology, grade 11 or grade 12, chemistry, grade 11 or grade 12, physics, grade 11 or grade 12, or environmental science, grade 11, with a grade of 60% or higher. And also post-secondary courses in mathematics and science will be considered, and those are certain courses only, and you're best to speak to the admission folks to get the details on that. Okay, so applied behavior analysis is an evidence-based approach to understanding and changing human behavior, and as such, it is a scientific approach. So everything that we do is based upon rigorous experimental applications of treatments and basic research as well. Students will require sound skills in sciences, math, and English to be successful. Okay, just to talk a little bit now about success in the program. So once again, ABA is not psychology and it is not criminal profiling. So you're not going to be getting a job with the BAU. We do not study the brain. Why do we not study the brain? Because we can't do anything about changing the brain. All we can do is change behavior. And there is less emphasis on talk therapy, although there is an area above applied behavior analysis called acceptance and commitment therapy, and that's best studied at the graduate level. And there are graduate programs in Ontario and other provinces where you can train at the graduate level in applied behavior analysis. Some of the things, the characteristics of someone who's a successful student and a behavior analyst, curiosity is really, really important. So why is that person doing that? Why are they behaving that way? And also it helps to be analytical and empathetic as well. I mean, we want to understand why people are doing things, and we have things from the standpoint that people are behaving inappropriately because they don't know what they should be doing in a certain situation, and we just need to help them understand what they should be doing instead. Of course, we need you to be compassionate. You know, people will present difficult behaviors that can be quite challenging for us to deal with, but we're all humans. We need to be able to help people out as much as we can. And dedication. This is there's a lot of work involved in terms of being a student, and there's a lot of work involved when it comes to being a behavior analyst as well. By the way, that's the formal title that we use when we're talking about people that are board certified. Their other titles are behavior therapists, rehabilitation therapists, etc. So in terms of the program itself, there are about 5 to 6 courses each semester. Most of the core courses are in applied behavior analysis. In addition, over the course of the degree, you're going to be required to complete 8 elective courses. And those are liberal arts electives. So it just rounds out your education, gives you a chance to study something other than just behavior analysis. And for each hour in the classroom, you can expect to spend about 3 additional hours in studying or the completion of assignments. Yes, it's a lot of work, but folks, let me tell you, it's worth it. And students often have to work, but anything more than part-time employment will make enjoyment and success in the program a challenge. So best to, save your money, and the first 2 years when you're working in the summer, save as much as you can. Okay, instruction is primarily classroom-based, though field work is a critical component of the whole process. By the time you graduate, you will have completed nearly 900 hours of field work, and the field work is always the best part, because that's where you get an opportunity to see all the stuff that we talk about in the classroom come to life. In each semester of years 2 and 3 of the program, you'll have a 1 day per week field placement, and those field placements are attached to 1 or 2 courses in each semester, and you will have assignments that are related to the coursework that you will conduct when you're in the field. Then in the fall semester, of year 4, you will spend 14 weeks in an internship. So no classes at all. You'll be in the entire fall semester actually involved in doing applied behavior analysis within the context of completing an applied thesis. Now don't get freaked out about that. It's not so challenging. So our partners in the internship and field work are in a variety of different areas, including education, autism, intellectual disabilities, mental health, and gerontology. And if there are other places that you're interested in doing an internship, we can certainly investigate those with you. So just on a semester by semester basis, give you some idea what we're going to do to you. So the first year semester in the fall, the courses include Behavior Theory and Principles 1, Introduction to Psychology, Communication and Critical Thinking to Scholarly Writing, and 2 Liberal Studies electives. The winter semester, a first year, Behavior Theory and Principles 2, Developmental Disabilities in Ontario, Policy and Process, Developmental Psychology, and then again 2 more liberal arts electives. Year 2, in the fall semester, Behavioral Assessment, Introduction to Skill Acquisition, Assessment and Intervention Strategies, Abnormal Psychology, Research Methods, which is one of my favorite courses, and Professional Communications. The winter semester of Year 2, Skill Acquisition, Advanced Theories and Application, Treating Challenging Behavior, Behavioral Approaches to Autism, Developmental Disorders, and Other Behavioral Issues, Statistics. Now don't out about statistics. We're going to teach you how to use software, so the software will do all the hard work for you. A course on ethics and moral philosophy, and then a 2-week training on crisis prevention intervention, which is just designed to keep you safe when you're out in the field working with challenging folks. Year 3, semester 5, group behavior therapy, behavioral approaches to acquired brain injury and gerontology. A course called Applied Thesis Proposal, where we give you a chance to work on developing a proposal to write a thesis. You'll get a couple of chances to practice this. It's a good skill to have for the undergrad and the graduate program. A course on psychometrics, which is testing intellectual abilities, achievement, those kinds of things. And then another course on ethics and standards of practice. The winter of year 3, which is semester 6, a course on organizational behavior management. This is really exciting stuff. I just had lunch on the weekend with a friend who trained in the applied behavior analysis in the clinical field. She's now doing work in Kazakhstan with the national oil company there. Very interesting stuff. Next course is behavioral approaches to health and well-being, a course on mediator training, approaching applications, parents, and staff. And with mediator training, what we're doing is that rather than doing a 55-minute session per week with a client, we train parents, teachers, group home staff, nurses, to how to implement the procedures so the person gets the therapy 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Another course on independent study, thesis preparation, so you get a chance to delve a little further into what you might be doing during your internship and practice a little more practice on writing a proposal. And then a liberal studies elective course. Semester 7, which is actually the spring of year 3. So this is a 10-month year, a little bit long, I understand that, but so we can get you all the best courses we need to set it up this way. So this is a 7-week semester during which you'll take courses in clinical behavior analysis, behavioral approaches to education, service delivery, and interprofessional practice. Sorry, that thesis preparation course should not be in there. That's from the previous semester, my error. And then a liberal studies elective course. So that's going to take you, that's going to be May and June. You'll have July and August off to rest a bit, make a little bit of money, and get ready for your fall internship. So again, the 4th year in fall is paid fall internship. That's 14 weeks, no classes. You'll have a supervisor in the placement agency where you're at. You'll also have a faculty supervisor who works directly with you to make sure that the process goes very smoothly. Then the final semester, the wrap-up semester, semester of year 4, course called Consolidation of Behavioral Principles and Practice, Advanced Topics in Behavior Analysis, Leadership in Behavioral Systems and Services, Professional Standards and Practice, and Liberal Studies electives. ABA is a rather new field. The first publication was in 1968. That seems like a long time ago for some of you, but it's not that long ago. So we're still getting ourselves known and trying to influence many different aspects of society. Okay, in terms of industry, the skills that you might need. So some of the roles, the activities that you'll be engaged in and the responsibilities that you'll have as an ABA practitioner include the assessment of a client's skills, development and implementation of skill acquisition programs. We like to look at, again, that if somebody's exhibiting a problem behavior, really what they need to do is to learn what it is that they should be doing in that situation. Something called functional assessment of challenging behaviors. So why is the person doing it? Not in terms of what are they getting out of the behavior or what are they avoiding. How to develop a behavior management plan, how to collect data and how to analyze it. One of the strong points and the selling points of behavior analysis is that we collect data on everything that we do so that we're not wasting the client's time, and we can evaluate if we're being successful and if we need to change things or not. And then, of course, case management, which is looking at who else we need to have on the team helping us out and how we can make contacts with them. Some of the job opportunities, and you may be familiar with some of these, you may not. Autism spectrum disorders consultant. As many of you know, there's been a huge increase in the incidence and prevalence of autism. When I started working in the field, it was about 1 in 1,100. Yes, I'm dating myself. We're now at about 1 in 59. Lots of issues there, and there are lots of employment opportunities at this point in time. Other job opportunities, and you can look this up online: behavior technician, behavior therapist, behavior consultant, instructor therapist, that's in the autism world again, residential support worker, you'll find those folks in group homes for individuals with intellectual disabilities or with acquired brain injury, transition coordinator, so folks that are helping people transition from the school system from one level of the school system to another or into employment opportunities, and then vocational support workers are another area. Okay, so again, once again, my name is Andrew McNamara. I usually go by Drew, so I don't get Andy. And you can reach me at andrew.mcnamara@georgebrown.ca. Our admission officer, Sebastian DiLorenzo, and his email address is sebastian.dilorenzo